Really nice to have you, man. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me in on this good day.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve for you guys, that are listening. Um, this probably won't air for a couple of weeks, but we are doing this today on New Year's Eve. What do you got going today, man? Anything special?
Today, no, we're just gonna hang out and relax at home. Wait for somebody to call me. Usually on New Year's Eve, I get a couple of calls to ride a bike home for somebody or pick up somebody. That's kind of our little deal that we do. We usually tell everybody, if you need something, give me a call, and if I can do it, I'll do it for you. Rather than them get in trouble, I'll do it for them.
That's
No
a
big
really
deal.
good thing, man. That's a really good thing. That's a great thing to have on New Year's.
Yeah. Well, most tow companies won't pick up your bike, or they'll take forever to pick up your bike. So they give me a call, and I'll ride it home for them and get them home safely, and wait for the next person.
It's such a dangerous night, man. I mean, there's so many people just wilding out and doing all kinds of crazy things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really nice of you to do that, though. I think it's the best bet, just staying in and kind of laying low.
Yeah.
I enjoy that now.
Yeah, too many crazy people out there nowadays, so it's nice to just relax.
I'm sure you've had some wild New Year's, in the past, So I mean, as we all have. So, it's out of our system in a way, and now it's just time to be safe, right?
Yeah, that's true. Very
a lot of
true.
Drunk drivers out there.
A lot of drunk drivers out there. I remember when I was one of them. So yeah.
No,
I know.
me too, man.
Yeah. I don't condone it, but I mean, I'm not a hypocrite. So
Right.
When somebody needs something, if I can handle it and do it for them, I'm more than welcome to do that for them.
Exactly. I love that, man. I love that. So, back to I mean, I we talked to when I introduced you, I talked a little bit about H&N clothing. I'd love to kind of dig into that a little bit.
All right.
I've been following you guys for a couple of years now. I'd love to talk just a little bit about how you guys got started and where you got started. And
We've been around for it's going to be going on our 11th year now.
Cool.
So about 15 to about 16 years ago, I was selling bicycle parts and motorcycle parts. And one day, a guy came up to me and just asked me where I could find this T-shirt he was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there with a couple of buddies of mine at the Long Beach swap meet.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of struck a little nerve in me. And I was like, wow, that sounds like a really cool shirt. And I even told the guy, if you find it, let me know because I want to buy it.
I want one too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So a buddy of mine, Louis, he was sitting there with me, and he just kind of said, hey, I got this patch many years ago, and it said Life Behind Bars. It was cool. And we've never seen it before, and I never seen anybody with a T-shirt with it or anything. And we just kind of started talking. So the conversation went on all day and for about a week. So I went to somebody I knew that was making T-shirts, and I said, hey, there's this T-shirt that this guy asked me for, and do you think you can make it?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes, yeah, I can make it for you. So he made me about a half a dozen. Following month, brought those 6 shirts with me to the motorcycle swap meet, sold them in about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And that's the logo that you have on right now that we both have on now?
No.
Both have, no.
When we first started, we were actually called Harley Nation.
Okay.
So some of our shirts said Life Behind Bars. Some of them said Harley Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So we continued that. And as that went, I was like, wow, I made this much money in a matter of minutes. And it was taking me half a day to make that same amount of money selling these bicycle parts.
Right.
So within the next 2 months, I was kind of ditching the parts and started to just do a little more T-shirts.
And how long ago was that?
This was about going on 11 years now.
Wow.
About 11 years now.
Wow.
But I have been going to the motorcycle swap meet for probably about 18 years.
SoCal swap.
SoCal, yeah, cycle, yeah. I've been going for at least a good 18 years.
Yeah, and I want to get, eventually I want to get back to that as well. I want to talk a little bit about the swap meet. But so go ahead.
And just eventually, in a matter of 3 months, like I said, I kind of ditched the part thing.
Mm-hmm.
And had 3 designs made up for me. I had a cousin that was a tattoo artist. made a few designs for me, and like I said, I had some family members that did silk screening, had them do it, and then just kind of we went to the first time we had like more than 2 shirts. We made about 6 dozen T-shirts, went and we sold out in the first hour and a half.
Wow.
So we put them up. Everybody dug them. Nobody had ever seen anything quite like that at that swap meet. And we sold them out really quick.
Wow.
So I was pretty happy with that. So that was kind of how I was born. So we were Harley Nation for about 3 years. And we just started kind of doing shows here and there, and with about 3 or 4 designs, and we kept selling them out. So I was like, wow, this might be something. So the first big kind of break we had was with Trip from Vatos and Biclas.
Yeah, I know Trip.
He actually invited us to be to have in a retail store in Salinas Valley, Harley Davidson.
Oh, wow.
So we sold there for about a little over a year. And they were one of the only independently Harley Davidson dealerships that would do their own merchandising.
Okay.
So, and I believe they were the last because we got into some really big trouble.
I'm sure.
Really big trouble. So we were called Harley Nation, and we were found out by Harley through Salinas Valley Harley, which didn't like it very much at all. So we got a little thing from their lawyers.
A little cease and desist.
A little cease and desist. And I really researched it a lot. Before I even started the brand, I went through LegalZoom.com, and they were probably only about 2 years old. So they had never had anything or anybody asked them the questions I was asking.
You were the first that
I was kind of their first that came to them with that. And they researched it and said, hey, your rights are you can use the name. So fine. We used it. We got
because Harley's a name. It's not a anything else but a name. A person's name.
So we were fine with it. Harley got in touch with us. We actually had a meeting with the lawyer, myself and my wife, sat down with them, and we kind of struck a deal with them because in California we have the Fair Trade Act law. So
what is that? I mean, for those listening right now, can you explain that a little bit?
What it comes down to is if I'm a plumber and you're a plumber and our names are similar, one of us cannot use the name.
Oh.
So if we're in the same type of business, it is something that you have to either get all the rights to, or you have to come to agreement to where you don't use the name.
That's really good information, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's just something that California does, and nobody really reads about it because people just kind of do it under the radar until I've seen so many construction companies and all kinds of different companies that use the name Harley.
Right. Even
Harley Davidson Plumbing, even I've seen it. The thing about it is the way we went about it is because we were in Salinas Valley Harley, they took notice.
But I mean, that seems like it's a Salinas Valley Harley issue, right?
It was, and they pulled us off the shelf. And to be honest with you, out of there was a few different companies that Trip took there. We were about the only ones that were getting purchase orders every 2 weeks.
So they were loving you guys.
Exactly. So I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
That we got a little noticed, a little quickly than everybody else did. So it was good and bad. We sat down with them. We hashed some things out. To be honest with you, I still own the name. I pay every year for the domain name. Every year I pay just to keep the name. And I told them, it's in our agreement. You want the name, you're going to pay me for it.
Pay me.
You're going to pay me for it.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like
And
that.
hopefully, eventually, it'll pay off.
It sounds like it's probably going to end up happening eventually.
Yeah,
you know?
eventually. So, and then all we did was abbreviate what you see now. So what you see now is HN Clothing. So we were already known as Harley Nation. We were kind of established already those first few years. So we just abbreviated.
And then the Life Behind Bars, is that in addition to it, or was that all along that was there?
Actually, we had used it, HN Clothing, Life Behind Bars, and then about 2011, there's a company that was named Life Behind Bars, and they're bicycles. They're up in, I believe, Sacramento or up north somewhere. Well, I was doing some research about midnight or so on just like a random Wednesday, looking up some names and doing some certain things, and it came up. Well, the guy did not renew his domain name or his name. He did not renew it.
He didn't renew it.
He didn't
every
renew it.
year, you guys need to do that.
Every year we do it. We do it in 3 states: Arizona, California, and Nevada. So we pay all that stuff just to get it done. And it was
smart,
up there.
man.
And it was up there. So I took it. So what I did is I didn't actually take the whole just Life Behind Bars. I added it to our HN clothing. So
so somebody could still use
most people will see that they use it a lot. Right. It wasn't used as much as it is now, but people get to see it here and there from us. So
it's one of my favorite shirts, by the way. So, I really love the Life Behind Bars, you know, logos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there was somebody before me somewhere, but I can tell you in California, no. I mean,
it sounds like you did your due diligence and you really, went into it and did your research.
Yeah, before we,
you were responsible about it.
Before we even got it started, that's how the Harley Nation came about. I did all my research. Like I said, I went to LegalZoom. It was the most affordable thing I could do. I still pay them $500 a year to research and to do stuff just in case somebody's using our logo, our name, our images, everything. So that guy lost it, so I added it, and he contacted me about 3 days later and said, "Oh man, that's," and I told him, "Look, dude, they're your bicycles, so continue to use it, but when they search you, they're gonna find me,
right?
And when they search me, they're gonna find you.
Probably.
I'm also you're a bicycle guy.
Where is he?
I believe he's up north. I'm not sure if it's Sacramento
or
somewhere. Yeah, in California. Okay. And he was a little mad,
I bet.
and I for $30, that's his whole deal, and he had it for at least a good 5 years.
How do you? I mean, man, it's like you gotta stay on top of that. I mean, I know that I have 2 domain names, and I'm really diligent every single year.
Yes.
And I don't even use them, but I remember, I don't know if you ever used to listen to Kevin and Bean.
Yeah.
So I think it was either Kevin or Bean, one of them. They did that. They would buy hundreds of them, and he sold quite a few and made
good money.
Good money.
Good money. Good money.
Especially at the beginning when the internet first people started doing that, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
because we do HN Clothing, lifebehindbars.com.org, everything. We have everything.
Okay.
So there's it's all one. We pay for everything every year.
That's your website to purchase clothing?
Our website is www.hnclothinglifebehindbars.com. All one word.
Perfect.
All one word.
Great. Thank you for